So a few weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, I did a throwback recipe to something my mother taught me, something I grew up eating. Now these are foods we kind of call nostalgic. While they might not, I wouldn't say they're technically amazing, but it doesn't matter because that's how Mama made it.
It does something to your heart.
I saw the comments. Mama was right, and there was nothing wrong with her medulla oblongata.
That's right.
I did wrong show with a cut it out. What we're gonna do today, I'm gonna show you guys a family favorite, a family staple, if you will. I'm gonna show you a chicken corn soup that I grew up eating. We still eat. My kids love it. Hopefully your kids will love it. Let me show you how to do it. The chicken is definitely going to take the longest. Oh, but before we get to our chicken, today I do have chicken breasts, but I'm going to throw a little oil down. I've got my Blackstone at medium-high heat. You could use chicken thighs. Typically, I really like chicken thighs. I feel like they have a lot of flavor because they have all the fat, but chicken breasts will do just fine. Now, I mentioned earlier, like nostalgia. There's something about the flavors from your childhood that really just sing. For no other reason than that's the way you grew up eating it. So for people that, you know, want to ridicule you for not doing something technically perfect or accurate, it's the way Mama did it. It's not wrong. I'm gonna go with a little bit of our SPG. Now, if you haven't had the SPG yet, it's just salt, pepper, garlic. Very, very simple, kind of like an all-purpose seasoning. Let's hit those chicken breasts. All right, now we're gonna let this cruise for just a bit. Now let's get to our vegetables. Now I've got some yellow onion. I'm gonna dice that up nice and small. This is pretty much a soup, so you want everything to be bite-sized, pretty small. Dice up some sweet onion. Definitely don't use red. We wanna use that sweet yellow onion. We're gonna take some carrots and some celery. Let's go ahead and cut those up. Dice them up if you want to. Just keep them roughly the same shapes, CJ,
Okay.
you know.
Yep.
The same shape as our onions. We can also take some potatoes. Now I have these gorgeous little red potatoes. They're smaller than the ones I've ever seen before, so let's just cut those in half. And let's go ahead and toss all of that into our aluminum because our cutting board is filling up. I've got an aluminum pan. Go ahead and toss that on our griddle and throw all of our vegetables in. Now I've also got a bit of garlic. Let's give that a nice rough chop and throw that in as well. We can hit that with just a little bit of our SPG seasoning, a bit of oil, and let that just cook for just a little bit while our chicken finishes up. It's been 3 or 4 minutes or so. Let's take a look at our vegetables. Now we're just starting to get translucent a little bit. Those potatoes are starting to cook. Our chicken, check this out. Now our chicken is only a little more than half done. I'm gonna go ahead and add it right into my aluminum tray. Actually, I saw a comment recently about why I use an aluminum tray. Not everybody has a side burner, so I want everyone out there to know you can still make these delicious treats even if you don't have that specific unit. Now I've got some peas. These little sweet peas are awesome. Let's go right over the top with these. Beautiful. I was never one of those kids that didn't want to eat his peas. I love peas. I'm going to take some sweet corn. Let's open that can. I am not going to drain these. I'm going to pour all of those goodies in there. And the last thing I'm going to do is add a bit of fresh herbs. I want some fresh thyme and some fresh rosemary. This is really going to ignite all of those wonderful, beautiful flavors. Now, all we have to do is let this sit and simmer. We're going to simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Basically, when the chicken and the potatoes are done, we're almost finished. We have one more step to go, but wait for those bubbles to get glorious and beautiful and potatoes and chicken to be cooked. Now we'll move on to our slurry. A slurry is very, very simple. You could just add flour, but you run the risk of getting clumps in the soup. You don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So add some milk and flour to a bowl, whisk it until it's nice and smooth, giving us a liquid thickener to add to our mix. Now we're going to add all of that to our mix after we've cut our chicken. Let's pull those chicken breasts out. Give them a nice chop. You want them to be bite size. Throw those back into our dish here. And now we're going to add our slurry. Use a spatula, whatever you want to use to stir this up. You want to stir it pretty quickly to make sure it thickens up evenly. Now we're gonna let this sit maybe 10 more minutes or so, and it is time to eat. It's very, very simple. It's one of those warm, like the cold time of year, which is for us now.
Starting.
I've got my winter t-shirt on. The cold time of year, this really does warm the soul, warms the spirit, CJ. There truly are some dishes that just make you feel like a kid again. Like a kid again, CJ.
Heck.
Look at this majesty. See that texture? It's Ethan actually mentioned it off camera. I'm very proud of you, Ethan. Off camera, Ethan said that looks like you could just put it in a pot pie.
Yes, that was totally me.
That was me.
Well, I heard Ethan say it. You know what? Don't even worry about those herbs. You can pick them out. My mama didn't take them out, and they're delicious and beautiful. Dude, look at that. That texture. This is what eating in winter is all about. Look at this. Oh, come on.
Almost looks like that could go inside of a pot pie. I heard that from Ethan one time.
Yeah, I heard it too. You heard it, right, Ethan?
Oh yeah, I said it, so.
So you can serve this with whatever you like. You could do cornbread, you could do biscuits. I feel like just a little French bread or a little baguette. Serve it, just rip them up. Like this is truly like country style cooking. It's like mama's cooking, grandmama's cooking. I love dishes like this. Bruce Mitchell would say this will stick to your ribs.
This will stick with you all day.
Stick with you all day. If you haven't watched Bruce Mitchell's content yet, go back on the channel and watch a bunch of Bruce Mitchell stuff because he is a legend. This is legendary. There's not much else to say other than let's get into this, mother.
Is it hot?
But it's so good.
Nothing like
so good.
Feeling and taste of fall over a burnt pellet.
True. So good. It reminds me of being 8. Feel like I'm 8, mama. If you're watching, I love you. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, or she won't even comment.
That was a really nice way to deflect on saying that your mom is not watching your show, obviously. She watches my show, though.
If you heard that at home, that was rude. Let me know down below. Guys, this is one of those things. Technique here, right? So we suspend all of our flavors in a liquid. We use the slurry to thicken that liquid. CJ, get down here. To get this consistency, to get this. It's somewhere between stew and chowder. Right? That actually your comment about going into a chicken pot pie.
Whose comment?
Your comment.
That's right.
That you stole from Ethan is really on point because that's where it is. It's also one of those things when it's really cold out, and I know I see in the comments it doesn't get cold in Florida.
Yeah, it gets a little.
55 in Florida feels.
It's true.
Feels a little bread in there. Got to do that style. Oh. Feel like a kid again. So, in the words of Bruce Mitchell, something to stick to your ribs all day. It's nostalgic for me. Chowders, stews, soups are so fun this time of year. Even if you live in Florida, even if it's 55 degrees in winter. Fun ones like this, it's my heart. It's my heart. It's why I started cooking. It's why I love cooking. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. If you haven't yet, and you're on YouTube, click the subscribe button down below. Click that little bell icon to get a notification every time we post a video. Leave a comment. Like it, share it, all the fun stuff. Watch all of the other great shows here on the channel. But until next time, this is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we like to help you become a better cook, one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy, and I will see you all in the next video. Tastes like my childhood, buddy.